I wonder where the TARDIS will take us next.
It must be 1066. Oh,
Morning, Father.
what is it you're doing here? What are you up to?
The monk's got a TARDIS.
We're about to have a Viking invasion, and very soon. So that's it. You're a time meddler. The whole course of history changed in one single swoop by wiping out the Viking fleet. Why would he want to? He wants to destroy the whole pattern of world history. He won't listen. He's determined to have his own way. It's got to be stopped. He must be stopped.
The TARDIS lands on the Northumbrian coast, where new companion Stephen discovers a Viking helmet, and the Doctor deduces they must have arrived in the 11th century. Stephen remains sceptical, especially when he and Vicky encounter what appears to be a Saxon hunter with a modern wristwatch. Investigating a nearby monastery, the Doctor discovers further anachronisms. Who is the mysterious monk observing the time traveller's every move, and why is he so interested in the outcome of the Battle of Hastings? The finale to Season 2 of Doctor Who, The Time Meddler, aired on BBC One from the 3rd to the 24th of July 1965. It was produced by Verity Lambert, directed by Douglas Camfield, and written by Dennis Spooner. It starred William Hartnell as the Doctor, Peter Purvis and Maureen O'Brien as Stephen Taylor and Vicky Pallister, and Peter Butterworth as the meddling monk. The Time Meddler was the first pure historical story to have another alien presence apart from the Doctor. Previous episodes set in a historical narrative had no aliens or spacecrafts. The only alien presence that was there was the Doctor and the TARDIS. The historical episode broke the mould on what Doctor Who was supposed to be, an educational historical programme about a time traveller going back in time and looking at key events in history, such as the French Revolution, or in this episode's case, the Battle of Hastings. The episode told us more about the Doctor and his people, although it's not been acknowledged where Time Lord Victorious is concerned, which really does bother me. Pure historical stories have been a bit of a mixed bag in my experience. An Unearthly Child, the first Doctor Who story, the first part is absolute TV gold, but parts 2, 3 and 4 when it's in the Stone Age, it's not so great.
There's still a police box. Why hasn't it changed? Dear, dear. How very disturbing.
Marco Polo sadly does not exist. The only way to experience the story is either the audio CD or the Target novelisation. The Aztecs is fucking brilliant. It holds the second most iconic line the first Doctor has ever said.
But you can't rewrite history. Not one line.
The Reign of Terror is an amazing story as well. Episodes 4 and 5 do not exist, but are filled in with animation. It's still great nonetheless.
England? No, France.
The Romans is what if Doctor Who did a Monty Python film. It's very comedic in its tone, but I found it a tad ridiculous, especially Nero. It's okay for what it is. The Crusade I found to be very boring, although episodes 2 and 4 don't exist. The Target novel is available, which tells the story in its complete form. I still need to read that actually. I do own it. The audio CD and episodes 1 and 3 on the Lost in Time DVD are available as well. The Mythmakers does not exist at all, but the Target novelisation and the audio CD are available. The Massacre does not exist either. The audio CD and the Target novelisation is the way to go for that one. Gunfighters is my least favourite first Doctor episode. Honestly, if I want to watch something about Tombstone, I will watch Tombstone.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
The Smugglers does not exist. The only way is the Target novelisation or the audio CD. Are you noticing a pattern here? The Highlanders does not exist either. Only way is Target book or audio CD. Don't bother with the recons. They're an absolute headache to sit through. If you're wondering what they are, they're basically still photographs and surviving clips of the episodes that are missing. And Black Orchid was really fucking boring. I have only ever had time for 3 of the pure historical stories. The others have either been shit or they don't exist. The Time Meddler predates episodes such as Evil of the Daleks, The Towns of Wang Chiang, City of Death, and The Visitation. This set the narrative for what Doctor Who episodes set in Earth's history would be about. So, without further ado, let's get into my review on The Time Meddler. The Time Meddler is a very good episode of 60s Doctor Who. I thought the idea of someone manipulating time so the human race can exceed faster was really clever. It shows that there are benefits to this, but really you're creating time paradoxes all over the place.
Improve what, for instance? Wouldn't be all those wars in Europe. Those claims over France went on for years and years. They'd be able to have jet airliners by 1320. Shakespeare would be able to put Hamlet on television.
There are no definitive beginnings of when things are invented. There would be no definitive creator of such things as a record player or a wristwatch, as is shown in the story. I think the Doctor, played by William Hartnell, is at his strongest in this episode. His excitement when he finds out he's in 1066 is absolute golden to watch.
Then it must be 1066.
He is extremely clever and sly in how he confronts and defeats the meddling monk, played by Peter Butterworth. His interaction with the monk is so fascinating to watch as well. He really has to use his intelligence in this episode, as the monk has a better TARDIS and his is 50 years more advanced than the Doctor's. You can really feel that he is the Doctor at this point in the show. He still has his typical grumpy grandad moments, especially when Stephen, played by Peter Purvis, calls him Doc, but remains on top form nevertheless.
This is quite a ship you've got here, Doc.
Don't call me Doc. Now, do I make myself clear?
Stephen, played by Peter Purvis, is very good in the episode. It's actually his first adventure with the Doctor. He was introduced as the side character in the previous episode, The Chase, but is established as a companion in this episode, since he's stored away in the TARDIS at the end of the previous story. He tries his best to keep up with what is going on, as this is his first experience with time travel. He has confrontations with the locals and helps to put the pieces together with why modern technology is in 1066. Vicky is pretty good in the episode. She's been in the TARDIS since the third episode of the season, The Rescue. She tries to help Stephen by explaining to him how the TARDIS works, although she's still learning about the Doctor, especially when she and Stephen find the monk's TARDIS in his monastery.
It's a TARDIS. The monk's got a TARDIS.
She also helps to put the pieces together with why there are modern elements in the Middle Ages. She also has doubts in the Doctor in the episode when she thinks the TARDIS has been swept away by the tide. My criticisms with the episode are very common with what others have to say about the Time Meddler. I thought at times it does drag a little, especially with part 3. The fight scenes could have been choreographed a lot better. They really look like they are children playing with sticks. Some of the peasants looked very clean. They should have essentially been covered in shit.
I don't know. Must be a king. Why? He hasn't got shit all over him.
Not to mention, they were very forgettable. All in all, I think the story is very good. I can easily look over some of my criticisms of the story and enjoy it for what it is. William Hartnell is fantastic as the Doctor. He really kills it in the episode. Vicky and Stephen are good companions in the episode as well. They aren't annoying at all when it comes to 60s companions, which is quite rare, especially with Dodo and to some extent Victoria. The meddling monk is brilliantly played by Peter Butterworth. He really knows how to be comedic and is slimy shit at the same time. It's a very good episode. I would watch other First Doctor episodes first though, such as the Dalek invasion of Earth or possibly the Keys of Marinus, as some people may find this episode unusual. It's not really Doctor Who as we know it today, but it's great nevertheless. If you want to view the episode for yourself, you have the VHS tape from 2002, which came in a box set with the Sensorites and the Gunfighters, and the DVD release from 2008, if you wish to have the story in better quality. You can also read the Target book, or listen to the audiobook of the story if you can't be arsed on reading the book.
You lazy piece of shite!
The release I would go for would be the DVD release. It's the best way to view the story, not to mention you get an audio commentary and many special features included on the disc. These include 2 photo galleries, one dedicated to the story itself and one dedicated to the producer Verity Lambert. It also includes The Lost 12 Seconds. This is a small section of part 4 that is still missing. The short piece uses an off-air recording and the original scripts to place the missing 12 seconds into context. There is also a featurette on the restoration of the story for DVD and shows you what the VHS tape quality looked like. And Strip for Action, The First Doctor, which is a look back at the First Doctor's comic strips. Very interesting stuff. It's very easy to come by, so you should not have an issue obtaining it for your collection. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, tell me what your thoughts are on the Time Meddler, and of course, I will see you next time.
Goodbye.